Doctor Who, Title Victorious, The Enemy of My Enemy, and of course this is the second Doctor Who audio drama that is featuring the 8th Doctor dealing with the Title Victorious storyline. And the first one was He Kills Me, Kills Me Not, dealing with Brian the Ood, and the cliffhanger in this episode of last episode, or the last audio drama, links right after the start of this, where the TARDIS stops, the Doctor enters out of the TARDIS, and he sees Daleks, and it starts right after that, and there's a through line you can tell, but there's a logically a standalone ability of it. And my guess, the idea is like, hey, if you're just following this Time of Victorious thing and you're following just the 8th, well, here you go. If you're just following the Daleks, you start here, you do Offend of the Daleks, you do the Dalek animated show, or if you do 10, you do Echo Extinction, the comics, and X, Y, and Z. It feels very standalone, and it reworks on those ways. And it's a very different Dalek story that I'm used to, because I know New Who, right? I know, 2005 onwards, right? So, okay, no, I know New Who from 2005 onwards. So it's very interesting watching like listening to a Dalek episode or story where it's not a giant like, let's blow everything up because it's because of these teapots. Because of these teapots. No, this one's very like a full-on drama. It feels like a full-on drama where you have the Daleks being stared, which is odd because it's, the Daleks, but they are stared. The Doctor is like, okay, what are you guys there about? Helps the Daleks. More like the Daleks kind of forces the Doctor to team up. But anyway, and they go to this planet that seems like a very peaceful planet called Waxon. But of course, there's something underneath where you're basically dealing with human type characters having the mindset of a Dalek, where anything that isn't them, they kill, right? And what you have here is a very interesting dynamic, because, the Dalek is like, you are going to kill the Daleks, you must be exterminated, and then, the Waxons are like, because that's what we do. I mean, you're going to kill us, so of course we're going to kill you, and that's how we're going to go. And from their point of view, it's all about safety. It's all about, to keep our people safe, we must kill the rest of the world, the rest of the universe and galaxy and all that. And it's very interesting mindset, because the Daleks are just, kill people because. But you got that dynamic, and of course you got the Doctor in the middle who's like, no, your ways, both your ways are wrong and all that. And there's a great speech at the end where, Paul Bergain's Doctor, gives this massive speech about, essentially hope and joy. And he goes to this, he does the whole look in the window. You know what I see? Children running around, people in happiness and joy and love and all that. Let that be let that be Waxon. Let that be Waxon. Not the exploit the rest of the galaxy stuff. Let that be the legacy. And that really, because I know that's the kind of difference with a Dalek. The Doctor could give the most powerful speech in the world, and they're like, yeah, exterminate. Like, that's essentially what's going to happen. And while human, other alien creatures, that kind of stuff, there's a chance where you can actually get to them. And it's really, and you understand that they're mindful, they're mind pace, that the words and the thoughts they have in there, and it's a really well put together plot that puts together. Now, the ending stuff that links to the next one, is when you feel like, okay, This is probably when they're going to link to the him bumping into his 10th, not 10th, but 11th generation. You know, with the hair's all sticky uppy, and him becoming the Time Lord Victorious, which I'm curious if that's the true thing. They are worried about, the biggest fear that the Daleks have is the Time Lord Victorious, so basically the Doctor's future self, and that's probably what you're going to link up to, and be interesting what happens there, because you want to have this big conclusion and all that. Then tomorrow we're going to see the conclusion of the magazine just done with Ninth, which, you know, leads up to that moment as well. So yeah, it's a really well put together. These audio dramas are really well put together. This event is really put well together. The only thing I haven't picked up is the toys, just because I'm like, well, $35 for a bunch of Daleks and 3 pages. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, this story is really put together, and you know, it'll be interesting when the timeline fits and how much wiggly wobbly is there. There's a lot of wiggly wobbly. There's a lot of it. And yeah, this is the Enemy.